Imagine a crime scene so bizarre, even the wildest theory starts to make sense. That's the strange reality of the owl theory in the Kathleen Peterson case, where an owl might have been the real culprit in a notorious 2001 North Carolina death. For years, the official story was simple blunt force trauma, a bloody staircase, and suspicion aimed at Michael Peterson. But then came some very weird evidence. 7 deep parallel lacerations on Kathleen's scalp, no skull fractures, and tiny owl feathers clutched in her hand. Not your usual murder mystery clues, right? That's where 3D animation steps in, turning speculation into something you can actually see and maybe believe. Let's break down exactly how digital forensics reshaped this case. First, the wounds. Animators overlaid barred owl talon models right onto Kathleen's scalp injuries, and weirdly enough, the puncture pattern lined up with a trident-shaped claw, something you just don't get from a blunt object. They even simulated how a 2-pound owl, diving at 40 miles an hour, could slice skin deep but wouldn't break bone. No murder weapon ever found could explain that. Next, the blood. 3D modeling showed how the first blood drops appeared outside, not inside. Simulations traced blood from the walkway to a smear on the doorframe to the staircase. When they recreated the prosecution's blow-poke attack in animation, the blood spatter didn't match. But the owl scenario, with Kathleen running in, bleeding, and falling up the stairs, the blood patterns lined up perfectly. There's more. Those microscopic feathers in Kathleen's hand. Critics said they came from the environment, but 3D reenactments showed how a desperate grab at an attacking owl could trap feathers and even pine needles, just like the evidence found. Of course, it's not all open and shut. No owl DNA was recovered, and skeptics point out that scientific animations, as convincing as they look, can't prove what actually happened. But here's the thing. Animation gives juries and investigators a way to imagine what words, photos, and testimony just can't capture. Since docuseries and its owl attack sequence hit HBO, public opinion shifted. Before, barely anyone believed the owl theory. Now, about a third of viewers think it's possible. The theory's still unproven, but 3D reconstructions forced everyone to reconsider what's plausible and what's just plain weird. So what's the takeaway? 3D animation can't solve every mystery, it can't replace DNA. But it can expose mistakes, challenge assumptions, and maybe, just maybe, shine some light on the truth hiding in plain sight. If you want more rabbit holes or owl holes, dive into or check out interactive case files from the Audubon Society. And remember, sometimes the wildest theory isn't so crazy after all.